dig my rig. So I'm in a Petzl Sequoia, and we'll start at the front with our primary tie-in. I have the original Sequoia bridge on here, and I actually use it as my secondary. Got a little swivel on there for when I move my flip line over to the center to clip in SRT. And I run the Teufelberger bridge with double bat plates. This way, running a double gives me a better bend ratio on the rope. These are so cheap, and it's a phenomenal line for a bridge that if there's any damage whatsoever, little excess flattening, I see any kind of pick or anything like that, there's zero hesitation. I just replace the darn thing, you know. So the bat plate is so that when I'm going doubled rope, I can clip it in here and then just pass the unspliced end of my climbing line through here to attach it, you know, instead of having a carabiner to clip in, because the original rope runner, a carabiner could possibly, you know, catch the bird up here and send you screaming to the ground. So I've just been doing this for years. I just eliminated the need for a carabiner. For everyday, you know, climbing SRT, I'll clip in the centers there so it's kind of balanced. Working our way around the harness, I wear my my handsaw super high and tight. You kind of see how I've got it slipped actually through the harness itself, and then just kind of stoppered with a beaner, you know, so that sits nice and tight, and I don't get I get some play, but I don't get too much, you know what I mean? All right, I like that nice and high and tight. My Saka, my knee ascender, I clip from 1D on my right side all the way around the back, you know, so you can read flying squirrel on there. All right, right behind the, God, this is a mess. So yeah, right below my D, I have a big CT beaner just for clipping in, you know, slings for a block or my rig line, whatever. Behind my handsaw, I have a Petzl ring open just on that little tab down there, and I carry 2 beaner and redirect slings and 1 naked beaner. Seems to work. Moving on around back, I have a pinto and beaner for my initial cinch. I really enjoy working a pinto cinch. It's a big object, you know. I don't have to fumble around with like the little pins on a quickie or anything like that, or you know, that new thing from ISC that has gotten recalled twice. Anywho, yeah, this is my preferred method of anchorage. Then I have a maca to switch from a base anchor to a canopy anchor, or advancing a canopy anchor makes pulling out way easier. It's kind of like a midline attachable friction saver. You know, the pinto acts as the small ring, and then the revolver acts as the big ring. So this is where I carry my chainsaw, actually in the rear center. You know, I have my my tourniquet, and then a DMM Vault that I got at Jambo. You know, what the hell else am I going to do with it? You know, I don't like Kara tools or anything like that. I rock these big CTs, you know. There's no tooth in the nose, you know, to catch on 10X or anything like that. And they fold to the side, so they're not going to grab branches and make me lose my mind. But this one in the rear center, you know, it's just super convenient. Boom, I can find that, I can find this, clip my saw in, just the old school dog leash and ring. So the dog leash gets clipped in here, then the ring right behind the saw gets clipped in, and I'm kind of balanced, you know, to one side or the other, you know, and I also have full extension on that sling to one side or the other. If I'm doing a great big complicated like monkey pod or something where I'm going to be setting a bunch of pre-directs, you know, lacing my rope through the tree, I'll throw on my Taz, because though I bought it to get points at the Ascent event, you know, it's got to have 2 uses. So I'll drag tail with this, or really, you know, you can drag tail with just a beaner and a hitch cord. So this is kind of unnecessary, but you know, shiny objects. This is Petzl's adjustable bridge system, which I've swapped out for 8mm Veritas hitch cord. This hitch cord is actually in a double rope configuration. Actually, I think in an SRT configuration, this still meets the minimum brake strength of over 5,400 pounds. So this is just like a little micro flip line. So if I've got both my redirect slings deployed, I'm stretched way out from my initial anchor. I've configured my flip line into SRT, and I'm stretched even further out than that. I still have another little mini flip line for work positioning. This thing is handy, and it just weighs nothing. It's super compact. I think this is 7 feet, maybe 6-7 feet. So it's just enough. And this bugger locks down tight even in an SRT configuration. I'm using it like a traditional lanyard most often, but even in SRT, that bugger holds tight. This is a really neat device. I don't find an adjustable bridge any kind of necessary, but that made a good use for the tool that I'd already purchased. So over on the far side, my lanyard system, I rock an akimbo. I rocked a Hitchhiker 2 from pretty much the moment of release. When I first got into SRT, I started on a Hitchhiker, and I said to myself, look, if SRT ain't the way, you know, if it's just too complicated, you know, I'm going to buy this device. I can always just use it as a flip line, you know. And eventually when the HH2 came out and I'd already been on a runner, it's like, you know what, I'm going to try it as a flip line. And the longer it sat on my hip, you know, just to be cool, the more and more I used it. And then when the akimbo came out, I didn't really enjoy it as a primary climbing system, but dude, it is amazing on my hip. I find that I swap it down to my lower Ds pretty regularly. I flip line in, you know, SRT in the center there pretty gosh darn regularly. Instead of looking for a place to install my flip line like right in front of me down low, more often I'm looking above me as to where to set a second climbing system, because that's what this is. It's a complete climbing system. I'm on the what is this? This is Sterling's Tech 11. It is filthy, dirty, just freaking black. I've been in Lahaina cutting a whole bunch of dead, burned trees. So I'm actually going to be taking down a couple live cook pines today. I'm pretty excited about it. You know, I'm going to get sappy, but, you know, live trees. Woohoo! There's my floating anchor. You know, just a little thimble prusik. You know, so I can use that to clip in SRT. I can also slide this all the way down towards my carabiner, and then it's like a little weight on the rope. Or in the middle of the rope, as I'm flip lining up a tree, it's a weight on the far side to help me flip this a little easier. So I just store it right there, you know, and it gives me my first 2 loops. Then I come back with a loop to my first little lanyard manager clip and a second. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops in a 16-foot lanyard. It keeps it all above my knee and out of my way. And lastly, fuck Kong. But dude, this little mini hand descender is, it's the tits. It's the tits. It's so small, it's so compact, you know, for doing a single leg ascent, you know, just a quick hop in the canopy. It's perfect. It's perfect. I actually busted out the locking mechanism in there because, first of all, nothing from Kong is suitable for life support, and then it just snaps on and off the rope, you know, like just pop it right in, pop it right out, you know. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Quick 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, like on a super awkward limb walk. I don't do that often, but you know, always an option. Spurs. I actually have a Coker modification from way back in the day. So I have a CT left mounted on my right foot, and then there's a Beckett on the other foot for my Saka. And it's a fantastic system. I don't know what I would do without it. And then as far as foot ascender, I really prefer the OG Petzl Panton, the one where you can get a full-size carabiner in there to lock it. And yeah, that's it. I guess, yeah, my handsaw itself, I'm rocking the Tsurugi with the medium teeth. I first won one at TCIA, just doing a silly little contest. I'm like, this little blade, I'm going to break this thing. You know, and it turns out it's fantastic, especially out here in the tropics with our, you know, softer hardwoods. I can't tell you how many trees I've pruned with just that handsaw. It's awesome. Anywho, just thought I'd share, and hope this helps. Maybe pick up a trick or two. Aloha.